Hey guys, I'm in my car. I wanted to give you guys a quick tip. I was listening to my personal development, which if you guys aren't listening to some sort of inspirational podcast or listening to a motivational personal development book, you need to do that. It's kind of the topic of my video, or goes in hand with the topic of my video, which is, just that, I'm listening to this Manifest It Now podcast, which is like one of my favorite ones, and they're talking about a vibrational set point, which if you're not familiar with what that is, it's basically, it's like your normal, your idea of normal, your idea of who you are. It's basically the vibration that is your like constant, okay? If you don't change that, you will always go back to that normal. So like if your normal is that you don't work out, or that you don't like to work out, or that you overeat, or that you don't eat healthy, or that you can't pass a drive-thru without stopping, or that you have no willpower when it comes to food, all these things, like if that is like your normal, your vibrational set point, if you don't work on changing that, you probably won't be able to be successful, because you will have to use such strong willpower for the rest of your life to combat that normal. It's kind of like, think of it as like the temperature gauge on like your furnace. Like if you have it set to 70, it gets hot outside. What's gonna happen is it's gonna automatically kick in to bring you back to that level 70, and that's what like a vibrational set point does. So if you're not changing like what your gauge is, if you're not changing it to a different temperature, it's always going to come back to 70, if that makes sense. So what you need to work on doing is, and listen, I know that a lot of people say a habit is formed in 21 days, which that may be true for some people, but from what I've been reading and just from like life experience, it seems that actually a habit takes about 66 days to form. And I want you guys to all be able to make this a lifestyle. So that means that you need to really be committed for 66 days. I'm not saying that you can't, figure out how to make this a lifestyle. I'm not saying that you're not going to be able to go to a birthday party, or, have a glass of wine, or have a clean treat, or whatever else like that for 66 days time. But you need to be committed to the process for 66 days, committed to checking into the group, committed to making the change. Because if you don't, I know what happens is, now that we're in like this last week, a lot of people, that what's happening is that you're moving back to that 70 degrees. You're moving back to that vibrational set point. Like the excitement has maybe worn off. Maybe you did start to get down in the beginning, and so that was exciting, but maybe it also made you think that you could slack off a little bit, or maybe like be like, okay, well, I lost 5 pounds this week. Like I could probably add in a few of the things that I like, and I'd still lose 3 pounds or whatever. But basically, slowly over time, you're moving back to that vibrational set point. So what we need to do is to get the set point changed. And how you change is for me, it was through personal development. And I listen to personal development every day, typically right before I get out of bed, and it just gets me like pumped and motivated for the day. It's like my daily dose of positivity. And it's just it's changed my whole life. But I mean, there won't ever be a time where I don't listen to it. A lot of people, like, I wouldn't say I'm super, like, religious in terms of, like, structured religion, but I am very spiritual, and, a lot of people that maybe are religious maybe can get that daily dose from, like, reading the Bible or something like that. For me, I get it from, like, listening to my personal development, and that's what I want all of you to do. So, if you feel like you're moving back to that original set point, like, make that change mentally right now, and just be like, okay, no. This is not just 21 days. It's, switch up that thinking to think, I'm going to commit to this process for 66 days. And by that point, it's going to be a new habit. And by that point, that vibrational set point will be changed.